You're listening to Learn English with Nick. Simple, clear, everyday English. Let's go.
Today, I want to talk about money, society, and what I call survival skills. I don't mean survival in a jungle or on a deserted island. I mean the normal, everyday skills you need to survive in the world we live in now. Because sometimes the world feels complicated, and money feels scary, and society feels like a big machine where everyone is trying to not fall behind. But when you break it down, life becomes a lot more manageable. So let's talk about it slowly, like friends who are trying to make sense of things together. Money is the first topic, because money affects almost everything. It affects where you live, what you eat, how you travel, and even how stressed or relaxed you feel at the end of the month. It's funny because nobody teaches you how to really use money when you're young. You learn math, you learn history, but nobody sits you down and says, here's how to save, here's how to spend, here's how to not panic when bills come. So most of us learn about money through mistakes. You buy something you didn't need, you forget to save, you get surprised by an extra bill, and then you say, okay, I learned my lesson. But even with mistakes, money becomes easier when you understand one basic idea. You have to control your money, not let your money control you. That means knowing how much you earn, how much you spend, and how much you can keep for later. I'm not talking about getting rich. I'm talking about basic survival. If you earn 10, try your best to spend 8 or 9. If you spend 12, life becomes stressful very fast. And everyone knows that feeling. When you check your account and say, wait, what happened here? It's a universal moment. And in society today, money is not just about survival. It's also about expectations. People feel pressure to look successful. They want new clothes, new phones, new things to show they are doing well. But sometimes, the things we buy don't actually make us happy. They just make us feel included. And that can be dangerous, because you end up spending money for society, not for yourself. When you learn to separate the two, what society wants from what you want, life becomes lighter. You start spending on things that truly matter to you, not things that impress strangers who don't even know you. Now, let's talk about survival skills. These are basic life skills that every adult needs, and they are not taught in school. For example, knowing how to budget, knowing how to speak to people politely, even when you feel stressed, knowing how to make a small plan for the week, knowing how to ask questions when you don't understand something, knowing how to say no. These skills sound simple, but a lot of adults struggle with them. Another big survival skill is learning how to communicate. Not fancy English, not perfect grammar, just clear communication, saying what you need, asking for help when something is confusing, telling someone when you feel uncomfortable. The world becomes much easier when you know how to express yourself with confidence. And confidence doesn't come from money or education. It comes from practice and knowing your value as a person. One of the most important survival skills is learning how to manage stress, because modern society creates stress like it's a factory. Bills, work, responsibilities, deadlines, expectations, everything is fast. And when everything is fast, your mind gets tired. So you need simple ways to calm yourself. Maybe you take a walk. Maybe you breathe deeply for 2 minutes. Maybe you make a small plan. Maybe you talk to someone you trust. Survival today is not just about paying bills. It's about protecting your mental energy so you don't burn out. Something else that helps you survive in today's world is knowing how to adapt. Life changes fast. Jobs change, technology changes, rules change. If you can stay flexible, you will always survive. If you learn new things bit by bit, you stay strong. Adaptability is like a secret superpower. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be willing to grow. Society is also full of unwritten rules. For example, how to behave at work, how to express disagreement without starting a fight, how to ask for a better price, how to negotiate without being rude. These small skills help you survive because they help you navigate people. And surviving is not just about money, it's about relationships. A person who knows how to talk to others usually gets more opportunities than a person with money, but no communication skills. When I look at modern life, I think the most powerful survival skill is independence. Not independence like doing everything alone, but independence like knowing how to stand on your own 2 feet, knowing how to handle your own business, knowing how to solve problems without panicking, knowing how to make decisions even when they are not easy. Independence feels hard, but once you learn it, life feels more stable. And then there is emotional survival. Society today moves fast. Everyone is busy, and people often feel alone even when they are surrounded by others. You need emotional strength to survive that. You need to know how to take care of your own feelings. You need to know when to take a break. You need to know when to forgive yourself for not being perfect. Emotional survival is the skill that keeps you standing when everything else feels messy. And finally, there's the simple but important skill of curiosity. Curiosity helps you survive because it keeps your mind open. When you ask questions, you learn. When you learn, you grow. When you grow, life becomes easier. Curiosity is not just for children. Adults need curiosity even more because society is always changing. If you stay curious, you will never fall behind. So at the end of the day, money matters, society matters, and survival skills matter. But the good news is, you can learn all of them. There is no perfect person who knows everything. We are all just trying to survive, trying to grow, trying to understand life one day at a time. And when you take things step by step, everything becomes easier. You start to feel more confident. You start to feel more in control. And you realize that surviving in today's world is not impossible. You just need the right mindset, a little patience, and a belief that you can improve no matter where you start.